Thank you. All right, Susan, I'll turn it over to you.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for letting me drop into your meeting, which is so nice on this technology to be able to zoom in and out. So Jody had contacted me and I met with the personnel committee of Second Presbyterian, and we talked about the possibility of doing a staffing assessment in the congregation. A staffing assessment, just to ease any of your anxieties, is not a performance review of staff. It's looking more at the structure of the staff, the role of the personnel committee, what are various policies and procedures that are happening in the life of the staff team in the church. It looks at staff team effectiveness in terms of how the team as a whole relates to each other and gets its work done. And it also looks deeply into each person's role. Part of what can happen during a time of transition, especially as you're going to be preparing for a new lead pastor, is that taking a deep dive into what it is that you actually do every day will be enormously helpful for the new pastor and for the personnel committee, so that they get a much better understanding. Job descriptions over time can morph. People have to be nimble and flexible and have to take on some things. Sometimes there are gaps in a staff team, some things that really need to be done but haven't landed in anybody's job description. So it's more a staffing assessment of this type is really looking at those kinds of broader things. It's not a performance review of any of you or how well you are doing in your jobs. That's not the point of it. But it's really to help both Jody now, but the incoming pastor in the future in the personnel committee as they seek to make sure that they've got the right size staff doing the right things in alignment with your mission, so that you can keep moving forward in the direction that God is calling you to do. So Jody has probably communicated to you, I will be coming down to Little Rock in a little over a month, and we'll have the opportunity to spend some time with each of you. And we'll try to do some of that on Zoom ahead of time, so that I can get to know you and understand your job better. And what I wanted to talk about today is that there's two inventories that I'd like you to fill out. One is called the Staff Team Effectiveness Profile, and it just gives us a picture of kind of the staff team as a whole and how it's functioning together. That will be easy to fill out. If you do find that there's a question that you don't quite understand or don't know how to fill out, that's perfectly fine. You can leave it blank. You and I can talk about that when we meet together. And then the other one is one that will take a little more time. Unless you're very, very part-time, then you may not be able to fill the whole thing out, but it's a position description analysis. So it goes deep into your role, what your job description is, how much time you're spending in various things, what are the duties, and what are some of the gaps? What are some of the things that you should be doing, but you can't find the time to do, or some things that you've picked up that you're not sure why you're doing that, and maybe those belong under another job description or in a newly created position. So that one will take a little more time to fill out, but most people find that these are pretty easy to fill out. If you have any questions, I've included my email address on the position description analysis, and you can email me if you have questions, or you can save your questions for when we meet together. And we've already set up some Zoom times so that I have an opportunity to chat with each of you and to take a look at those forms, those inventories together with you prior to my arrival. And then when I come, we'll gather the whole staff team together, and I will have pooled all of your information together into the staff team effectiveness profile. And we'll go over that together as a group, and you can see how you answered those questions collectively together, not individually, but how you did all together as a staff team. And then I'll meet with Jody and the personnel committee, and I'll go back and write a report and make some recommendations back to the personnel committee, which Jody can share and talk to you all about later after that report's done and the personnel committee has had a chance to go over that information. So the main thing, I just wanted to give you a heads up about those inventories that they should be coming. I sent them to Jody yesterday. So he's got them and can get those distributed to them. And then Tracy, thank you very much in advance, has been working on a schedule for meetings for me to meet with each of you. She's got a sign up genius that's she's been working on. And what I'll do is, Tracy, if you can add everybody's emails to a list of the appointments, then I'll send you a Zoom link like the day before for that, for our time together. And the main thing, I just wanted to make sure that you weren't feeling anxious about your job security, or that you're clear that this is not a performance review for anyone. It's more looking at the staffing structure, the role of the personnel committee, kind of the big picture balcony, kind of looking down on the staff team during this time of transition. Jody, what would you add?
I think you've covered it. I'm not sure I've sent out those dates that you'll be here, but Tracy will send out this. I guess she'll send out the dates, right, for signing up. And I think you've explained it well. I wonder if anybody here has some questions, because I've been through this before. I may not know what the questions are. Anybody? Yeah, Jeannie.
I have a question, just clarification. The sign up genius, when you come here, I would love Jody to get those dates, because I got a couple of trips coming up. I want to make sure I'm not gone if I need to be here. Is that for a Zoom, or are we going to meet with you in person when you're here? Or both? I mean,
well, we'll do both. Yeah, individually, I'll meet with you all on Zoom and go over your inventories with you, just to make sure that I'm understanding your role and in understanding the answers to the inventories. And then when I get there, we'll meet all together as a team and go over the results of the staff team effectiveness profile.
Okay, so the Zoom meetings are prior to your coming here.
Yeah, we're going to try to get as many of those done as possible. If none of those dates work that I've worked out with Tracy, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out an alternative. But I think, Tracy, I can't remember, we've got 4 different days.
4 different dates. And if you're part-time, Susan and I kind of discussed, if you're part-time, you might want to pick one of the 30-minute slots. If you're full-time, pick an hour slot. But if you feel like your part-time will take an hour, but there's a little flexibility in there, and just go from there. I mean, if you feel like you need more time or whatever, but just, that's kind of what we did. And Susan, if the time slots and days and all look good, I sent you that link for you to click on. If that all looks good, when would you like for me to send this to the staff?
I think you could send it out right away,
Okay.
Tracy, and then we'll just adjust, according to our needs, and we'll get it all together. What I'd like to do prior to coming, so the reason I wanted to meet with you each on Zoom is that there's some numbers and correlation numbers I need to pull together for the personnel committee, and I wanted to at least have time to pull those numbers together before I get to the personnel committee meeting, so that I've got some of that initial information for them. And I wanted to make sure I had time to get the staff team effectiveness profile ready for you all to take a look at when I get there.
So Susan, when you come, I've looked at my calendar, you're here. She's also here to meet with the personnel committee, just so y'all know. She's going to do some work with them. So part of her visits with you and parts with them, just to help train them and help them understand their role. So just be aware of that. So you're here March 31st through the 4th.
Yep.
And when do you anticipate in that timeline that you would want to meet with us?
I think that's really up to you all. If there's a
I know
particular day.
What about a Monday morning, right before, would that be possible?
Yeah, Monday morning would work.
Because your flight would probably be in the afternoon, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm thinking that the end of your visit might be the most helpful, just because you will have listened to the personnel committee and all that, and you can reflect on that. You'll have the most information when you meet with us.
Yes. Yeah,
Does that make
would
sense?
be true. Yep. So yeah, Monday morning, the 4th, would be good. And
I'll aim for that.
Yeah, I'll come in sometime on Thursday, the 31st. So if we have trouble with the Sign Up Genius, and there's still a couple of people that I need to visit with, we certainly could figure out how to do that on Thursday afternoon or Friday morning, and then we can fit the personnel committee in somewhere in there.
Other questions? I can't see everybody, so if you're raising your hand, you may just need to speak.
You probably would have some questions along the way with inventories, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. I thought I had a question, but I forgot what it was. So if it is, I'll email you.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you, Susan, so much for being with us and being a part of this. And I'm so glad that everybody will get to meet you and be a part of this and get your fresh eyes on this context here. So wonderful church. This is a great group of staff you're about to meet.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. Thank you all so much.
yeah, it's part of the gift of being here. So I look forward to you meeting these good people. All right, well, I'll let you go and we'll continue our meeting. And
Bye-bye now.
thanks. All right, bye-bye.